ಫೈನ್. ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಗಿವ್ ಎ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್. ಯಾ, ಡನ್. Yeah, it's working ಅಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಫೈನ್. ಹಾಂ, ಫೈನ್.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ಬಿಸ್ಲಿ. ಹಾಂ, ಲೈವ್ ಹೋದ್ಯಾ? ಲೈವ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಂತ ನೋಡಿ. ಐ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್. ಐ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಲೈವ್. ಇಲ್ಲ, ಜನ ಆಗಲೇ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಂ, ಹೋಗು. ಫೈನ್ ಫೈನ್ ಫೈನ್. ಹಾಂ,
ನೀವು ಯಾವ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗೆ the number you have
someone's hello everyone, someone's microphone is putting out a lot of noise. I request you to turn it off. Someone's microphone is putting out a lot of noise. Just turn it off.
He's going live. I'm starting ಅಂತ.
Okay. ಏನೋ are you getting a lot of noise?
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಬಂದು ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ ಇವಾಗ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಇವಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲ, I'm not getting any noise. ಹಾಂ, ನನಗೆ ಬಿರಿಯಾನಿ ಮುಟ್ಟಂಗಿಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಹಿಂಗಿದೆ ಹಂಗೆ ಬಿಡಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಂ, what should I do? Yeah, it's showing a blank screen for me now. Huh? ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ OBS ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟೀಮ್ಸ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತದೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ. ಹಾಂ, ಟೀಮ್ಸ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಂ, ಇವಾಗ ಬಂತು. I won't touch anything now, Stella. Fine. ಭಯಂಕರ ನಾಯ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬಲ್ಲಿ. ಏನಾಯ್ತು? ಹಾಂ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. It says I've been removed. I don't know if it's from me or what. I'll call you this back. Okay, wait.
The number you ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಕೋವಿಡ್-19 ಅನ್ನೋ ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಈಗ ಪೂರ್ತಿ.
ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಲೈವಲ್ಲಿ ಸಮ್ಮನ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ರಿಮೂವ್ಡ್ ಯು ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಬಟ್ ನಂದ ಆಶ್ರಿತದಾಗ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ನಂದೇ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ತಾನೆ, ನಾನು ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದರೆ. ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಅದೇ ಬರ್ತಿರೋದು. ನಾನು ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರೆ ಅದು ಮೇನ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಬರ್ತಿರೋದು. ಬಟ್ ನನ್ನ ಮೌಸ್ ಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಥಿಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಮಹೀನ್ ಆರ್ ಸಂಬಡಿ ಎಲ್ಸಸ್.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Actually, ನನ್ನ Facebook ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೈವ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ. See that I'm not getting access to that page at all.
God.
ನನ್ನ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಬಂತು when I was hosting it. Now it's not coming. Let me check.
I don't know what is wrong.
Even I don't know. ಏನು ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. If I create a live, then I guess I can do it. But this someone else has created it. ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದಂತಾನೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. Streaming, these things are okay. ನಂದು Microsoft Teams ಇಂದ someone just now removed me.
ನಿನ್ನ ತೆಗ್ದಾಕಿದ್ರಾ?
ಹಾ ಹೌದು.
Okay.
Yeah, I not joined back again. I was actually trying to.
ಅಲ್ಲ ನಂದ ಯಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದೇ ನನಗಾದ್ರೆ.
ಹೌದಾ? ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಂತಾನೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದಲ್ವಾ?
ಅವ್ನು ಬಿಸಿ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ತಡಿ ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಂತ.
ನನಗೂ ಹಂಗೆ ತಡಿ ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಫೋನ್ ನೋಡೋದು.
ಸರಿ ಸರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ತಡಿ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ.
ಓಕೆ ಫೈನ್.
Arian. Hello, Aditya here. IMechE. This one, I was streaming on YouTube. Ashrat told me what to do. I checked, all the setting from OBS finished. But now on the live screen, it is showing someone just removed you. So someone removed me or someone removed Ashrat. I don't know what is happening. So what should I do now? On the live screen, yeah. I'm sharing the screen for YouTube, okay? And on the YouTube live stream, whatever is happening, it says someone just removed you. And it's very noisy. Just check it out, it's damn noisy. It's like some mixer grinder running in the background. In OBS. Okay, I didn't do that. Ashton didn't tell me that, so I didn't. Okay, now what should I do? I'm in the video. Live stream is happening on the YouTube page of IMechE. It says live streaming YouTube channel webinar, but on the screen it says someone just removed you from the call. You can rejoin. So does it mean I'm out? Okay, fine. Oh yeah, I'm actually out. Rejoin. New video. I hope it doesn't turn on. Yeah, fine. Live stream, how many are watching? 4, 2 currently. Yeah.
Hello,
IMechE.
Hello.
Yeah, all 4 of them.
Hello.
speaking. It's not. I mean, I'm not speaking. It's from the call. Fine, bro. I don't know what to do now. I'll just check and let you know. I'll call you back if there are some other issues. Okay. Bye bye.
Hello?
Yes, I mean, are you able to hear
Yeah,
me?
yeah, tell me. Yes, yes, I can hear you. Tell me.
One second, I just get back to you. Sir is calling me. Hold on.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Hello? Sir, are you able to access it now? Yes, sir, I did send a mail. Do you want me to resend it? No, right now I can send you again. Sir. Hold on. Let me just send again. Sir, it's Sunil Panchbhai at rediff.com. S is capital. Sir, have you logged out of that account? I have resent your mail, sir. Again. Sir, just do me a favor, sir. I will just, what we'll do is, I will send you a Google Meet link, sir. Just join that and share your screen on your laptop, and I'll probably guide you how to open it. Okay, let me just send just open it on the laptop, sir. You have Teams on your laptop, right? Do you have Teams on it, sir? Microsoft Teams? Okay, sir. I'll just, this is your WhatsApp number, right? No, sir. Through Google Meet, I will, we cannot broadcast Google Meet, sir, because everyone is in Teams right now. So what we'll do is, I will show you how to do it on Google Meet. Then we can open a Teams account right there itself. I'll send you the link on WhatsApp, so just join there. Okay, sir. Yeah. Hello? Amin, are you able to hear me?
How do I unmute this mic? Whatever.
Hello? Ashit, how about the students? Students are there. The speaker is having issues with his Microsoft right now.
Okay, okay.
1 second. Let me just invite him and we are able to. 1 second. Let me just invite him and. Hey, why is it coming like this? I'm having some issues. Hold on. Sunil. Hello. Sir, I've sent you a mail, sir. Can you have a look once? Yes, sir. Sir, I think I can use a mobile as well. Shouldn't be a problem, sir, to join because. Okay. Yeah, down it says join using Microsoft Teams, I think. Yeah. Someone waiting in the lobby, I think. Okay, that is someone else. No, not an issue, sir. Not an issue. Uh, so we do not have an alternative. Only. Okay. 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 Ask him to share his screen, is it? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Amin has joined. He's there. So there are, I think, 32 people, including Amin. We had around 80, 85 registrations. I think some are yet to join. Yes, sir. So did you get the screen where it says join now? Waiting in the lobby. Start. No, sir. If you come, I think it tells me that you're in the lobby. I have to accept. Accept, yeah. Just disconnect and try again, sir, probably. Are you using a mobile phone, sir?
Uh, Ashit,
Yeah. Okay.
is sir in? Sunil sir?
Yeah, okay. Just a second, sir. No, he's just still connecting. He's getting some problem with another account as well. Hello? Amin.
Yeah.
Just give me a minute, Amin, okay?
It's not working, sir. Okay, to all of you present in the meeting right now, the speaker is having some technical issues, so please have some patience. We'll probably try to revert back to you in 10 minutes. I kindly request everyone to mute their microphones for now. So what is the error you're getting? Can you just send me a screenshot, sir? One second, I just got waiting in the lobby. Okay, it's a student. Uh, Sir, is this your WhatsApp number?
Hello.
Sir, is this your WhatsApp number?
Same thing. WhatsApp number.
Let me just text you, so you can probably send me a screenshot. I can have a look. One second, sir. I'm just checking it.
Yeah.
Uh, here, I think.
No, when in time, taking credential, mark copy, that's there.
Okay. I'm trying to. I resent you a link, sir. Did you get it?
In which ID?
This one. IMechE.org.
I'm
Yeah.
got it. Yeah, I received and confirmed there on
Okay.
document of called another part.
Sir, we will. I think if it doesn't work, what we can do is I will inform all the participants in the group right now to join on my on Google Meet, and I'll send you a Google Meet link. It'll be very easy to join using that.
Yeah, I think that will be
Yeah.
faster and easier. There is some double ID problem or
Okay.
double ID also.
Yeah. No, that you can join.
Ashit.
One second, I mean. I'll just send you a Google Meet link, sir, on your WhatsApp. Just join using your on your laptop, sir, because it'll be easier. Okay, sir. I'll send it to you on the email. It's for Google Meet. Ready, file, sir. Okay, sir. You just join. Okay, sir. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. Then how will direct the live streaming?
No, I will
Uh,
inform. Now, what we will do right now is, okay. I hope everyone is audible. I'm audible to everyone. Just give me
yes,
a yes.
yes.
Okay, so what we'll do is we will. Sir is having some issues on his Microsoft Teams account. So in the chat window here, everyone is added to Teams, right? In the chat window, I'll just put a link of the Google Meet session. So everyone join there using your browser. All right.
Okay, and also send me the link via Google Meet so that I can also share it to others, and send me the link of uh, the live streaming links of Facebook and Google if it gets updated.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm just trying to.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we will. Okay. Okay. If everyone can see, hold on 1 second. One second, I mean, yeah. So can everyone see that I put out the Google Meet link on the chat window? Hello?
I'm not able to see the chat.
Okay, can you see it now?
Not able to see the chat window.
Just click on the see when you.
Yes, sir. I put the link. We can see that, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Just join that using your Chrome browser. All right.
I'm not able to get the chat window.
See, there are people already joining. So see, just meeting chat is there. See, between the after the hand button, raise your hand. It's a box. So just join there. You can see the. Is everyone able to access it?
Yes, I can see that, but I think it's better you just put in once in the group also. Okay, I think these people they've opened the coding session. Just go back if you're not able to find. You'll find that if you go back.
I'm not sure. I didn't get you. Sorry, come again.
Just go back. Whoever is not able to find that, just go back. You can see it.
Okay, Ayush, you have a question? You just raised your hand.
Send link in group also.
Yeah, I'll send the link in the group as well. Hold on. In the Teams chat window also, I'll just send it. So, yeah, put out. If you go
the age, so many jobs they have been like going and unemployment rate has gone. Luckily got bit re-established and it is at around 11 to 10% now. Hope to inform this can be improving in current stage. Now knowing all this, what can be the impact of all this scenario on now young friends like you, the graduate students? Now let us say what is the India scenario for the colleges and universities. I give some data based on what is the from the Ministry of Education and what is available in the public domain. As of right now, India is having universities which are 993 numbers. The colleges are around 40,000 to be very precise. They are 39,931. Maybe one or two can have increased. Engineering colleges are 6,214 plus. The graduates passing out yearly at around 3 crores. Out of that, technical are around 8% to 10%, that is 26 lakh numbers, and engineering graduates like you will be around 15 lakh plus. Now there are some other revelations like the 20% engineers they get job matching to their skill set. Like the mechanical person aspiring wants to go in mechanical development or manufacturing, he will go there. But sometimes he has to switch to a banking or a software also. Some figures on salary front. Average salary in India is around 14.5 thousand, and average monthly salary for engineers in Bangalore is around 18.7. It is around 40% plus than the national average. Of course, due to the good city condition, economic as well as the industrial scenario. Considering this, now we are touching today's point. What should be the options for consideration for graduate engineers like you? Now there are very broadly some 4-5 areas like going for a post graduation in India or abroad. Like some people will do GMAT, some GRE, they will be traveling, they will be doing some MS in US or some other countries now open like Australia, New Zealand, Germany, UK, etc. Some people will be aspiring for joining directly MTech courses or some other MBA courses which are easily available. Many friends they will like to join the family business and grow it. Not everybody may be as lucky as the Reliance Industries family business. Some people will like to join the private and government institutions. Most of the campus companies come for the recruitment there. I also had been to Ramaiah College around 10 years back to recruit engineers for LG Electronics. So then there are some people who want to take a leave for some time. These students they will be having a leave. They will study very hard for cracking the CAT examination or the UPSC or for the state public service examinations. Then there will be few who will be liking to start an enterprise. For every kind of option, students, there are some consideration like in case of the post graduation, there will be a specialization, there will be opportunity, average salary can be higher. Of course, number of limited seats is there. In case of a family business, the creativity remains always a challenge, and then the number of decision maker can be more, family involvement is also higher. In civil services, the competition, the more study intensive, etc. We will talk today about what are the opportunities when somebody wants to start up an enterprise. So let us discuss that. Now we talk what are the details of an enterprise. Let's say what is an enterprise? It's something started by the entrepreneur. Now who is he? He is a person who sets up a business or a businesses taking in financial risk in the hope of the profit. Like he won't definitely do for a charity. There will be of course a business financial interest, that is a profit generation. Now, what is the government initiative on this? The government has got a focus of like something like a MSMEs. What is MSMEs? Is micro, small, medium enterprises. Then there is a government website for all this, which is like coded as champions, the creation and harmonious application of modern processes for increasing the output and national strength, of course, of big initiative. The industries MSMEs, why I'm telling you is when you will log on, suppose starting your business, you will have to get a Udyog Aadhaar number, and then this micro, small, medium will come in the picture. They will ask what is your capital, plant and machinery investment and turnover. So micro has turnover not more than 1 crore annual, plant and machinery 1 crore, and turnover not more than 5 crore. Similarly, small has also a limitation of 10 crore and annual turnover not more than 50 crore. Medium has an investment of 50 crore max and a turnover not going than 250 crore. Now, why all we need to know this? So we need to know for what is going to be the startup and what are going to be the systems related to it. I take you to the next slide of what is startup initiative. Now, startup definition goes like it's a young company founded by one or more entrepreneurs to develop a unique product or service and bring it in the market. Now, by its nature, the startup tends to be a limited funding, like the students or those who are just graduates, they will be starting with initial funding from their founders. They can take from their friends or families, they can borrow some money. Also, they can look for some investors also for funding their ideas. We have got a Government of India ministry, that is the startup india.gov.in, who is taking care of these initiatives in India, and so many facilitations are done, which I will explain in the coming ways. So those who want to aspire for making a startup can log in and learn more and more about it. Few of the things I will be trying to explain in our discussions now. Now, what kind of support is required or provided to the startups? Now, let's talk about what government is supporting startups into. I will just say what it is there, and we'll talk further in coming discussion for what are the startups. There is a legal support in the patent filing. Then there is a fast track filing of the applications. In case of general, we know it takes years to get a grant on the patent, whereas in case of the startups, the patent applications are done and the grant is also received much faster. There has been a panel of facilitators on the government that they will bear the facilitation costs. There are over 423 facilitators and around 600 for the trademark applications. When you apply for your own patent and trademarks, you require a lot of support in this kind of a legal documentation. Then there is some cost associated to it, but for the startups, it is almost only 20% and 80% is borne by the government. Last year, only around 370 plus startups are benefited. Now, when you start this one, startup, and then there is the income, government encourages you in the income tax, and then there is an exemption for the 3 years. You can choose whether it is in the first year or whether it is in the 5th year you want to choose. There is a slab of years, which I can tell later on also. When you make some manufacturing enterprise or details, then there is a compliance which requires some self-certification. There are some environmental related activities. Then there are some labor laws also, which are quite critical. So these are supported by government, and then there is a easy compliance. The time taken can be low, and then there is a self-certification also, which is then honored. Suppose the startup is having some product that can be open for a public procurement, then the government also gives priority to the procurement and gives a chance for the startups to showcase their products. What was the scenario some time back is last year around 4,200 startups got benefited. Almost 960 crore of funding was disbursed, and for the infrastructures, almost 828 crores were sanctioned through the government for the infrastructure creation for the startups. Now, what are the exact areas for the startups? So first is the handholding. Like when young students like you go for knowing that yes, I want to do a startup, what can be the support you can be getting? So it is first the legal support regarding the certifications, as we just discussed, some portal availability and other. Also your intellectual property that will be registered, you will have a support in that. Funding and incentives, as we said, there is a small industrial development bank of India, which is the fund of funds is there available, and then there is a disbursement every year around 2,500 crores, and also a big corpus is allocated. There is a credit guarantee in case startup wants to take a bigger loan, then there is also a guarantee given. There is a incubation. Now this is one area where startup needs more kind of a support and care. After the hand holding for the legal and after the funding is done, the startups should be knowing what kind of support, what kind of things it should be done. Now we are having some 31 innovation centers, some 13 startup centers, technology business incubators, etc. Now we'll come in the coming slides. Who are all these incubators and what are the similar things? Now, what is the startup scenario in India? Let us talk about it. India is having almost a third largest startup support ecosystem at the global level. It has about 50,000 plus startups total till 2018. And out of that, around 8,900, 9,300 were the technology focused startups. Around 1,300 were technology startups were added only in the 2019. And out of it, let's say every day, almost 2 to 3 technical startups were added. Now the growth rate of startups coming is also increasing, which is almost 15% is the rate adding year on year. Incubators numbers are also growing. Incubators are the institutions that support the startup activity. And women entrepreneurs, they're also increasing right from 10% in the 18 to almost 14% in the 20. A wonderful job is done by the startups, that is the job creation. Like almost over 40,000 new jobs were created, and total today the number stands to around 1.6 to 1.7 lakh over the years now. And your own city, the Bangalore, is within the world's top 20 leading startup cities in the 2019, and it is also ranked as one of the world's 5 fastest growing startup cities. So a lot can be expected from people like you to make the startup and contribute to the national economy, also make yourself up also. Now some of you might want to know what is the eligibility to be a startup. See, being incorporated or registered in India for less than 7 years, and if you are having a biotech startup, then it can be extended to 10 years. So the date you started your registration of your firm in the portal or sanction from government, it should be 7 years and max 10 years for the biotechnical company. Your turnover should not be more than 25 crore when you are wanting to enter as a startup. Your product or your services should work towards the innovation, development, deployment, commercialization, and services driven by technology, or it should generate some intellectual property. All the incubators, they will be talking about some technology driven or some IP, intellectual property generation focus, where they will give a priority to nurture the startup. It may not be splitted and reconstructed business which is already in existence. Suppose somebody is having already a set up business and you want to split and say I want to enter as a startup. It can be possible, but you have to then convince from an inter-ministerial board of setup for such a purpose, which may not be a discussion point right now. And whenever you're starting a company, it can be incorporated as a private limited company where you have some number of directors, or a registered partnership firm, or a LLP, which is called as a limited liability partnership. These things you can learn in due course, or you will also come to know, but you have to basically register a firm first. Now, having this, what kind of support is required for a startup? Suppose you have an idea, you have meeting all the eligibility criteria, then what is the support you are requiring to go further? First is the infra. So you need to have an office premise with proper arrangement, conference room, where there is a space for making some research, making some trials, making some prototypes, making your own work or check the processes. You of course need an internet, maybe at a small cost, but this is something which is required for as an infra to make a startup for. Then you need an ecosystem. What is an ecosystem? It is a total cycle which is required to make the whole startup functioning totally. Like it involves the expert guidances, it involves the laboratories or for project or innovation evaluation, and also the literature availability. Like you need to have access to the documentation, you need to have access to the books, and so many other journals where your say innovation or a project can be done. The most important is the financial funding, where you need the money to sustain all what we said, the infra also, the access to the libraries or other things also. It will be funding for your project. It will be the seed money, like the initial money which is done. It will be also the connect to the investors is. So the support you need is also to connect to somebody who want to invest into the money. Then you require some mentoring, like you need to have advice from for the project guidance, for professional and documentary guidance, the legal documentation, the patent filing, the peer learning also. Suppose you are having a startup in Bangalore, and suppose somebody is having also in, say, IIT Powai or Mumbai. What is the similarity? Can you learn from each other? So suppose there is a mentor, you can be knowing what are the things which are coming across. Of course, then your visibility or whatever you are doing, the development or innovation, that support opportunity to you should be given to showcase your innovation or the product, so that you can be having a reach to more and more people, more and more, say, potential buyers. Of course, networking, like now you know your products are done or is developed. Now it has to go to the right people, which will help you to make their demand coming to you, which you can fine tune and again give the final product again. So this networking. So as we see, the startup requires infra, ecosystem, financial support, a mentoring, a visibility, and the networking. So who are all the institutions who are providing this kind of support? Yeah. Now we talk about an incubator. A startup incubator is a collaborative program for the startup companies. It is usually a centrally located workplace designed to help the startup in their infancy. It gives the workspace, funding, mentoring, and training. Now the students or the aspirants, those who want to make the startup, can approach any of this. They have to meet the criteria for getting into the support. For example, Ramaiah Technology Business Incubator is already there. I'm giving some websites where you can go and check what are the startups and incubators and what they are providing the help. Then there is another, that is the Sign IIT Bombay, where I am also associated as a mentor to few of the startups over there. Then there are some organizations like Prime Venture Partners, Center for Innovation, Incubation and Entrepreneurship. This is the IIM Ahmedabad promoted incubator. Then India Angel Network, Khosla Labs. This is the, again center which is having labs in Bangalore also. There is a startup village which is in Kerala. Then I Create and Amity, etc. Then let's know what are the, so you are having a list in front of you. Of course, there are many more. There is just one representative example. In case you want to approach, you can go through, you can know more about it, and then approach them with your ideas. Now let's learn what are the stages that a startup has to undergo. The stages are research and concept finalization is the first. Like you have some idea or more than one idea, but then you have to finalize on one. So you have to see what is your core strength, what is your expertise, what is your passion. You have to evaluate on all these fronts and then take a decision. Yes, this is one idea you have to or you want to pursue. Then at the same time, you have to see what is the market potential for and what is the product of the idea. You have to do a research for long-term visibility. It's not a one-day job like you have done some research and done. You have to see over the years how your proposal of your product will survive. Then you have to evaluate your finalized concept or the idea with financial, manufacturing feasibilities, profit scenarios, competition, and other similar parameters to sustain. Now, after doing your concept finalize, we come to the most critical stage, that is the concept execution. In this, we are having making a prototype, develop a process, build up a team. Also, you have to make a company registration, make the legal documentation, make the facilities plan. You have to secure the funding, make the facilities, make the product, set your manufacturing office or factory in place, and you have to see whether they are working or how they are working. And you have to continue refine your business model. Like, okay, you are ready for production of say 20,000 per year. Now, can you scale it to 30,000 next year? You have to think on this and revise your business model, and then you have to work for a product launch. Like, you should be ready of making your product. So this concept to execution is one of the very effort taking stage. Of course, all are like that, but it requires really a long time to come and make your product ready to be launched. Then comes talking to customers and improve the market. You have to market your product. Of course, you can do that from the beginning, but you have to meet and then sell your product to the customers. Then you come in the slightly a matured stage of the startup. That is the fourth stage is the improve. You start getting a feedback from the customers, like about your product or about your service. And if you want a longer life of your organization and your product, you have to continuously listen to the customers. You have to listen their voice, you have to listen their expectations, and where you miss, take it positively and improve on your product or service. You might have experienced when you buy something from say something like Amazon, keep on getting some mails or calls and they ask about your feedback or ratings. These companies, even though selling too many high, not only Amazon, there are so many, they will be very keen to know where they need to improve. They incorporate and then they try to sustain. So improve is one of the very, very important stage in the beginning also, in the lifetime of the your product life cycle also. Then once you are in the improvement mode, then you have to look for the scaling. Scaling is your volume up or your expansion. Then you can talk about forecasting the demand. You have to see, you will have the team who is expert in market judging. So you have to see what is the demand forecast, what are the resources there. You have to check the feasibility. You have to then secure funding. Suppose your business is growing twofold or threefold, then you have to see the funding for your raw material procurement or your manpower deployment also. You have to build up the resources to meet the requirement and increase service or the product volume. Once this is done, then you are ready for like stabilizing as well as being there and selling continuously in the market. Then comes the stage of stabilization and the systematic growth plan. Now you have come up over the struggles of concept, then going for execution, then meeting the market, taking the feedback, improving, scaling. Then you are a matured business. Then you want to have a long-term strategy. You have to have a product or the process expansion plan. Sorry. And you have to build up your all resources, including your team, for the further execution. Now, what are the some well-known startups? Of course, there is a Ola, there is a Paytm, Shuttle, ClearDeco, Myra. I think that is just bought by some other company also. Then there is a Dunzo, there is a Zomato, the Momo, Kulbak. These are few of the startups which you might be definitely knowing. We then talk about what are the startups that can be requirement in the future. We are the industrial scenario is changing very fast. You might have heard a buzzword called as Industry 4.0, which is nothing but a digital transformation of all the manufacturing or the production processes. So because of this revolution, we are in the 4.0 stages. The expectations of a technology or a service will be much different. Just to brief, what is industrial revolution is Industry 1.0 is mechanization, Industry 2.0 is the mass production, 3.0 is robo and some automations, and 4.0 is just explained as the digital transformation. So digital seems to be the more requirement in the current days. So in this scenario, the future startups, they will be focusing mostly on the agriculture, mechanization, that can be a priority risk. Second is the artificial intelligence everywhere. Let it be the face recognition system, optical character, language processing, or in manufacturing, wherever it can reduce the errors and maximize the accuracy, it will be coming. Then there will be a e-commerce, local as well as some specific niche. EduTech, I think Bangalore people will not be telling how like vast it is and how the startups have grown in this field. There is a finance related also, like filling the finance related forms, income tax, your other taxes, etc. Few startups can be food beverages, some can be healthcare. You know, now the many pharmacy are available through the e-commerce also. So this is also one area, or there can be some health as well as the technology associated gadgets which can be done for the patient's help. Then there is the Internet of Things, home automation and convenience. Like you need not be coming home and then starting the AC. You can give a indication that you will be reaching, and your room is as your temperature set. Or some product I have interacted is keep a stuff in your say refrigerator. There will be a sensor who will come to know, and you can when your stuff is vanished, it will give a order to the store to deliver it at your home. So these are the things which are really possible nowadays, but it can be the spread can be more and more for details. Then there can be a software and SaaS, that is software as a service. Because of so much complexity of the business and now more transactions, business softwares are much in demand and of much more customization as well. So this also can be one of the requirement of the services. Transport and travel, mobile application, then the fashion trends. These are also the future startups which can be having a high demand. So engineers can look, they do not limit only to the technical, but they can go in other these startups also to exhibit their interest as well as their skills. Now let me tell you what are the startups right now at the global level. Some of the things which you can see on the internet also, something called as a fixed, that is the micro car mechanic. Then there is a personal drone which is for a photograph, and you can just take it along and maybe at whatever record spaces and take. There is an extra PC in which all the old PCs their speed can be boosted and you need not be replacing your PC. So with just a USB kind of thing, you can increase the speed, which is a requirement now. Some pest repellents like mosquito tron is there. Then Sonic Pro, the hygiene, the toothbrush. Moama, which is a translation assistant, which can be a need when the travel goes or the connection between two different language speaking people or the countries or the companies it starts. Then there are some personal wearable massager. These are few of the startups which are at the global level right now, and you can also think on this and say where I can want to go or to which I want to compete, or do I have a better model than this. Now we talk about what are the institutions who can be supporting. We have already seen. Now I will talk about IMechE. IMechE, how it is related to the discussions till now what we had. Is IMechE is an institution of mechanical engineers, which is a non-profit organization with headquarters at UK and spread in various countries. Like it is present in over 140 countries and having 120,000 engineers of various age groups and experience and various branches. In India, we are having 4 divisions, that is the aerospace, automotive, railways, and remaining are there in the process industries. I belong to process industries as the secretary and treasurer. Then there is a young members network also. There are zone wise panels also, and the young members now through which we are today connected is nothing but a young members network. So this also is there, and to the aspiring say startups or student or the mechanical engineers, IMechE is there to help. In what way? I will tell you. There is a connect of academicians and the corporate level, like the colleges, institute, and companies. They can get connected. You can become a member of a global organization, and then you can also have a chance to understand what is happening across the other branches in other locations across the globe. Those who are interested will be having a huge access to the huge library with specific reports, studies, innovations. Suppose you are in some particular field, you want to know what is happening in say UK or Australia or say in Singapore for this. So you will be having access and you can get some specific reports that may not be open in the public domain. You will also have access to join the IMechE India events. Now these are invitation based, maybe webinars, but there can be actual meets where you can be invited, and if it is happening in Bangalore or the city in which you are residing, you will be a welcome guest over there also. Then there is a connect to the industry and the corporate facilitation. So this is more important because generally the academics or the student, they are bit away from the industry, and then they need to be a connect. So there iMechE can make a very good connect. I'll give you the example. Our process division, we had conducted an event in IIT Mumbai where we had encouraged the students of IIT to showcase their innovations. So we had the startups who had exhibited their studies and who has exhibited their models, and it was known to the whole iMechE total team. Then they also had a connect with many people, and it could help their business also grow. As I told, iMechE is having a connect of so many expertise engineers and various ages and other things. So there are maybe mentors for which you are looking for with the specific expertise. So there also you can connect. After you become member, you can come to know what are the divisions in which you want to get yourself enrolled into, and then you can be like a part of iMechE, and then you can connect to the senior level people who can be of help and guidance to you. Now, how you can connect to iMechE? You just go on the website near you, iMechE.org. You will get the details. You will see how to log in, how to become a member. Students are not charged any fees, so it will be very easy for you to become a member and gather more and more knowledge. You can connect to Amin. Amin's ID is masmech017 Also, when you will receive this presentation copy, you can check from there also. Or you can directly connect to me also. This is sunil.panchbhai@member.imechi.org. So this is my official iMechE email address. There also you can send any mail and get the information regarding member or any information regarding the help you require from the iMechE. So having seen scenario, then having seen what are the opportunities of engineers, then also we have seen what are the startups and what are the stages, what are the incubators, and what are the things which are required to become a startup eligibility, what are the stages. Now we are coming almost to an end of our today's discussion. You also have a understanding of what is the iMechE now, and hope is just a introduction, and you will be interested to know more and more. So that is all. So I almost come to the end of our presentation now. Just to remind, your mentor, which I feel will be a useful in taking you and improving this percentage of failures, which seems to be very high.
Okay.
Right?
Thank you, sir.
So, one question from my side.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, can you hear me? Sir?
Yeah. Please go ahead.
So, being a mechanical engineer, so if I want to start a enterprise after my graduation, so is it necessary for an engineer to take a business degree and continue for a startup, or we can take another masters and continue for a like which path should the engineer take?
See, it's not dependent on your degree, or definitely it helps because when you are qualified, you will get more access to some other, say, incubators, or your kind of proposal becomes stronger. I would suggest earlier the better, because when you are doing your work also, you can get education, or later on also you can get your, say, PG degrees. But what I feel is if you start now, you can also learn the tricks of the trade faster and you can grow. So my idea or my suggestion will be earlier better. Do it when you want, like, okay, you have the idea, take the benefit of launching the idea at earlier before somebody else jumps on that and encashes on that. Right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Sir, I have another question for you. Sir, I've been looking up on different types of funding models. So can you just put it briefly? How is drop shipping different from seed funding?
How
is drop shipping different from seed funding?
See, seed funding, you will have a total investor who is like trying to put the money, hoping into becoming a, say, making a partnership into your business or your activity, and he will be growing into this. So there can be agreement based on what is your interest into it and how the way you want to take that kind of venture partner into your activity ahead. Maybe on a later date, if you want to exit out of your startup and hand over it totally to the venture partner, that also is possible. Nowadays, that also scenario is happening. Like many startups are going up to one particular level, and then they are bought by their investors, or they are then sold to some other companies. Typically, you see this kind of phenomena will be very much like familiar in case of the US funded startups. They will acquire, then they will sell also. So that's the way of seed investors. Of course, sometimes seed money is also given from many institutes or incubators or the government activities as encouragement for the startups without any return expected. They have to utilize and show the progress, which will be also then monitored by the incubator in charges.
All right, sir. Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions for sir?
So one more question from my side.
Yeah, please.
So like in countries like India, mechanical engineering is seen as a third tier engineering job. So like doesn't have much opportunities and something like that. So like how can we grow more opportunities in mechanical engineering field? Like so if we just move to abroad after BTech studies, will that increase our chances, or staying in India and getting MTech from reputed engineering institutions like IITs and IIScs, will that help? So which career path should we choose?
See, now today's discussion is on startups, so I will talk about it. But at the same time, I will say yes. When you go abroad, what happens? You become a specialist, so you tend to stay there, make your like aspiration go there. Then you take some job over there, and go in your expertise area. That typically happens when somebody go for a MS to US or similar like that. It's a good
And
idea also to go to
one
IIT.
more add-on question, sir.
Yes, 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 please.
So is it real that doing job for 3 to 4 years and establishing your own enterprise will help you like gain experience as a talk outside? So is it true, or can
Yeah,
we
that
like just like fresh mind we are?
I will tell you that also helps. But first, let me tell you about the IIT. Going to IIT and then you become a postgraduate MTech from IITs or ISC. Then you look for employment. Yes, there is a benefit because the being an employer, and I also visited IITs for taking the campus interviews. The scale and the level of the IIT MTechs is higher than general graduates, but the number of openings they also reduce in the similar proportion. So that is also risk attached. Being a BE, you are more generalist. When you do MTech, you become a specialist. So there is an advantage as well as disadvantage also. Coming to job opportunities, see, as now you see the engineering colleges are many more. I am on some academic councils and also meeting colleges. In some cases, some branches are also expected to close because of shortage of students. Why students are not joining? Because of the more colleges are there and employment is less. Now, to do that, what is good rather than to participate in a rat race, I won't say exactly like that, but rather than to be struggling to get a job, think and whether you can do something on your own, like a startup, which we said, which is a much more need. Here, you will also have an opportunity to create jobs and also make a employment more. That's why government is also focusing on the startups. Like as I said, it has created till now almost more than 1.5. So startup, even though somebody said it is 80% failing, yes, but then there are startups who are creating the jobs also. Let's look at the brighter side and take it. Now, answer to your second question, will that help? Definitely, it will help. See, because when you do on your own, you have to struggle a bit, and then you have to learn everything. Like, for example, what is product, what is manufacturing, how the work is calculated, how the drawing is read. Though you learn some things in your graduation, these things are not taught, they are to be learned. So, some experience in the enterprise or working somewhere, that will be definitely help. As a mentor, I will always suggest you that if you go for such somewhere job and then going for some startup, your startup will be having much more confidence compared to not having anything.
Thank you, sir.
I think we can take one last question if there's any, and I think we can. Does anyone have any questions?
Hello. Sir,
Yeah.
so what's the current scenario for aerospace industry, sir? The startup, like usually the investments are really high. So what's the current scenario for startups in aerospace industry?
See, aerospace being a very, very highly reliable kind of a component or product requirements, it becomes what you can say a very specific thing. Startups may be requiring then some more attention, some more kind of a detailing and more technical support from say their mentors, or suppose they choose some partner to learn from kind of thing. So in my view, I'm telling scenario also it can be checked. The startups may not have a very good opportunity or a opening immediately in this scenario, where we are dependent on more or more say imported goods or imported items, or the technologies is higher. But yes, in coming days, this sector or the Make in India drive can make this aerospace sector also grow, and the startups can get a better benefit out of it.
All right,
Does
sir.
that
Thank
answer
you.
your question? Yeah.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, if there's no more questions, I think we can. We can just wind up.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, I would
Yes.
like to thank Sunil sir for accepting in short notice and providing this good webinar on a good topic, that is
My pleasure.
opportunities on yeah. And I would like to thank Ramaiah University's student chapter for conducting such an event with collaboration with IMechE, and hosting in this short time period too. And I would like to request Ramaiah University to conduct such kind of events with collaboration of IMechE again and again in future, as we have kind of like mini resource, as sir also mentioned that we have kind of a good resource from all the divisions and all the departments. And the main important thing is I would like to thank Sandeep sir and the organizing committee, especially Ashrit, and all other committee members, those who have put efforts on organizing this event, and also live streaming the event on Facebook and YouTube. So thank you, sir, and thank you all.
Thank you. It
Yeah.
was nice talking to you all, friends. Stay connected in case of any queries. My email address or Amin's address is there. We can be in touch on phone, or you can be in touch on the our email address also. Thank you all of you. Good luck, and hope to see some startups from Ramaiah College also.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Yeah.